Welcome to today's Practice Advantage Pearl. Today we'd like to talk about a little heavy lifting with overhead for fiscal fitness. We think about the last decade or so in healthcare and what's gone on and transpired from a standpoint of cost. It's been well documented by Medical Group Management Association, MGMA, and other groups that costs have gone up 50% and reimbursement has really remained relatively flat but gone up about 3%. So the equation is challenging at best for people trying to get a positive and strong bottom line. What I'd like to do now is talk a little bit about better performers in the medical practice management field tend to invest more in their operational costs and in their people. And I'd like to walk through an example of that based on some of the interactions I've had with specialty groups. Let's take, for example, typical billing for a specialty group of $3 million on an annual basis per provider. Collections of $800,000 for that one provider that year. The overhead percentage at about 55.3%, so that's pretty typical, translates into about $440,000 of overhead, leaving a balance of $360,000. So that's fairly typical in today's world. What I see often is practices are leaving anywhere from 10, 12% to 17% on the table that they're owed by practice inefficiencies around the revenue cycle. So let's take this example and blow it up a little bit more. Say that the charge structure is still the same, $3 million. The revenue in then is $920,000. So we've improved it by 15%. Now, that happened by increasing the overhead percentage. So we went from 55.3 to 58.3. So we've increased the overhead percentage. Translating into $536,000, so we've invested about another $96,000 in overhead and costs to get things done, leading $384,000 at the bottom, which translates per provider into $24,000 more. The key to this is it takes money to make money sometimes in making the right investment. So what was that investment to get from where they were at in collections to where they are today? It's looking at systems like the information systems. It's looking at checks and balances around what they're billing, coding, and how they're collecting that. It's adding FTE headcount, full-time equivalent headcount to the mix, and getting buy-in from everybody on staff to appreciate that. So again, a quick demonstration of sometimes investing in people, investing in resources, really in the end does benefit a practice. MGMA talks about some of the better performers, again, investing in staff and investing in their resources. So today's Pearl takeaway is think about the resources you're applying and making sure that they're strategic to optimize what you're owed in your practice. Thank you for listening to today's Pearl.